outside the Longbox. Really scraping the bottom of the barrel for these intros.
Really, we are.
We're recording everywhere now.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Thinking Outside the Longbox episode. I'm Gabe.
I'm Tim. I'm Doyle.
I'm Juan.
And today we're going to be talking about one of the things that we watched.
Yeah, Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure which was first.
I just chose one.
Okay.
The Unsolved Podcast. All right.
I think
So,
people just got tired of those mysteries.
man, so who watched all of them?
I did.
I did.
I watched most of them.
I watched like 4 of them.
Is that show so? Okay, the nostalgia factor hits right away because of the music.
Because of
and
the music.
stuff.
For sure. I
In
saw
the
a couple-
old show, did there used to be like multiple mysteries? Per
No.
Yes.
show?
No. Yeah. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Yeah.
Because
Like-
now there's just one really long ass boring mystery per show.
So,
Yeah.
So remember
Really
how I was
boring.
really upset about like the
A lot of things?
the trailer to like entertainment value of Warrior Nun?
Yeah.
That was really disappointing. This is like really disappointing too, and it's not. There's like no host. The stories can be like a fourth as long. Like there's
The first episode specifically is terrible.
the second or the one in France is really.
Yeah.
It's like, yep, we get it. He murdered his family and ran away.
I was
Like,
watching stuff in the background, and then I got to that one, and I was like, "Fuck! I gotta read this shit again
So-
because there's no dub on that
so
one."
there is.
There is. I couldn't find
If
it.
you go to Netflix, or were you watching it
I was on Netflix. Yeah.
So on Netflix, if you go to the subtitles and language, one of it is English descriptive, so you can watch it, but the whole time he's all
And he
interview
moves.
subject
Yeah,
walks
yeah,
down
yeah,
the street
yeah,
wearing
yeah.
glasses.
Yeah.
You know, blah 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 French, then translation.
A
So I
sunset.
watched the whole episode like that.
I turned it to
Sunsets over
Spanish.
Paris.
Oh, that's
I
pretty
turned the
smart.
audio to Spanish so then I could walk around and do shit still around the house.
That's pretty smart.
That's a good idea.
If I knew enough Spanish, I would do that too.
I was like, "Fuck! What am I gonna do?"
But I would only know like every like 9th or 10th word and be like, man, lots of murder in this show.
This
So-
is a mystery.
It's just like that first episode. A guy did shady shit, got killed by shady people, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
like-
unsolved.
The lady, like I said,
Not a
maybe
good
I
look
only-
for Baltimore again either.
I maybe only watched 3 of
The
them.
football one is probably the one that's most talked about. The young guy on the football team
So I don't think I
who
saw
went to the
that
party.
Yeah.
That's not one I've seen. Then.
I'll probably finish it.
The alien one's okay because it's alien.
It's a weird like
Maybe.
it's a weird like
Maybe.
like break from people getting murdered
Yeah.
to like aliens.
So
it's a
there
weird
is an
thing.
alien
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Is there a ghost or like a
No.
any? Is that the only weird
There's
one?
the only supernatural one.
So, okay, this was like my huge bummer with it. So, the way the original Unsolved Mysteries was structured, there'd be like one story that was longer than the other ones that was typically like a murder mystery or something. And then there'd be like 3 or 4 like short little like vignettes that were always about a ghost or a space alien or some kind
That's how I
of
thought I
cryptid.
remembered it.
Yeah.
They, like broke it up.
I watch it like I on Pluto. There's like a Unsolved Mysteries channel that I watch all the time, and there's constantly stories on there about just like all sorts of ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
And these were all just. If I wanted to watch this, I would just rewatch Making a Murderer because it's more interesting and it's better done.
Yeah.
Like this was kind of disappointing. I wanted this to be really awesome, and it was just like, oh, it's like
Someone, I
a more
think, just
boring
got-
version of Don't Fuck with Cats.
I think someone
Yeah.
got the rights, threw something together really quickly so they wouldn't lose the rights and just shit it out on Netflix.
Yeah.
So
That's what it
this
feels like.
this is the 15th season of Unsolved Mysteries. It's a Netflix reboot, long-running
Reboot?
American reboot.
Reboot.
The show which documents cold cases and paranormal phenomena.
Thought this part was
No.
over.
It's cold cases and a paranormal phenomenon.
Possibly.
In 2017, the film and television distribution company FilmRise acquired worldwide digital distribution rights to the original run of Unsolved Mysteries. The company announced its intention to release updated versions of the show's episode through multiple streaming platforms. This led to renewed interest in the series, with original creators John Cosgrove and Terry Dunn Mirror in expressing interest in reviving the show. On January 18, 2019, Netflix announced that it had picked up a 12-part reboot of the series. It was revealed that the Stranger Things executive producer Sean Levy and his company 21 Laps Entertainment, along with the Cosgrove Murderer Productions, would be producing the episodes. So, I don't know that it was a rush, but it sounds like there was just renewed... But it's not... It's like you said. It comes off too documentary like.
It's just
and it's not. There's no breaks. There's no host that kind of ties it together. There's nothing.
Like I really like the smaller vignette.
Me
mysteries.
too, because I was hoping to see like 5 or 6 mysteries per episode, because that's how the show is. Like, and when I watched the first episode and the story just kept going and going and going, I was like, when is this going to stop? Like, this is really long. This seems like a lot of time for people falling off a building. Oh, it's been 45... What the fuck? I just watched that for 45 minutes?
Dude
like,
left mysteriously. Dude left weird note only wife would find. Dude dead in weird place. Like, dude fucking with people he should have been fucking with.
Also, the lady who disappeared and then they found her body like 20 months later... Her husband killed her.
There was no way he did.
The guy who sleeps with their ashes?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He lied about that.
No, he sleeps with the box of ashes. He says that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like
he said he never opened the box until they filmed.
Yeah.
Which I don't. Who knows?
But the box was like all beat up. And he's like, see, it's all beat up because I hold it all the time.
I don't know. He was
so
like,
weird.
Dude, that dude murdered that lady.
It's fucking
And
weird.
you can tell because at the end he's like, she's with me all the time. Like, bro, get fucking psychiatric help, buddy. Like,
even if he didn't, still a piece of shit human being.
I know, locking your own kid out of the house, like, step-kid or not.
At
like,
16, like, fuck you. You're
I mean,
just a
I don't know. I'd lock you out of the house.
I'm not your kid, asshole. Now I'd lock
If
you
I
out
was
of
your
the
mom, I mean.
You,
She probably did lock you out of the house.
She did for several years. Yeah.
I have been locked out of my house. My mom was pretty awful sometimes.
Straight sent his ass a little bit of family. Change the locks.
Didn't just change the locks, change his fucking family.
Mom, why can't my key work?
You don't belong to me. I'll put you up for
Who are
adoption.
you?
I'm not mom anymore.
The crazy lady's mom.
I think Twilight Zone did a good job in just it's like exactly the same as what it used to be,
Right, yes.
Just with new people and new stories,
Right.
And I would
Which
have
is awesome. Which is what I would have done with Unsolved Mysteries.
I read an article saying, and I can't remember his name now, but I read an article saying that they didn't think any person would live up to the last host, and that's why they didn't do it.
Oh, Rob
and I was like,
Serling.
somebody would do it, and it'd be
Oh,
good.
you mean Robert Stack?
Yeah.
So that's my thing.
He wasn't really the. I mean, he was the face of the show, but like
He was like the voice.
the voice.
The
And,
stories were what the show.
And you
was
could
about,
definitely find somebody else to do
They're
that.
other iconic voices.
Like, okay, so who would you put in Robert Stack's place to host an Unsolved Mysteries?
Silver Godfrey.
That shit would be fucking memorable.
I would.
This is a story about a man in Baltimore fell off a building.
That for 45 minutes?
I definitely would
out.
watch that.
I'm out. Nope.
Not for 45 minutes. He's just in like the bumpers. Like,
Oh, Jesus.
so besides Gilbert Godfrey, who would you cast?
Who has a sensual voice?
Just for voice or
Idris Elba.
For...
It just has to be like somebody that looks
Yeah.
like they're
Looks
they're-
crazed.
No, like they're serious. Like they're reliable, like a reliable
Bruce
source
Campbell.
of information. Not him.
He does
not,
great.
He does not look like a reliable source of
But
information.
he does the same thing for Ripley's, believe it or
But
not.
that's perfect because that's like, look at this crazy shit. Like,
Oh, you wouldn't believe Bruce Campbell.
you'd be
That's
like,
what you're saying.
Yeah.
he did tell me a story about space aliens, though.
It was pretty good story, too.
Yeah, Bruce is in his lane right now. With,
Yeah.
With weird shit.
Final selection.
Who? Oh, Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman be a good choice. He does the He hosts that show like
God.
He
I Am
voices
God or
everything.
whatever, where
Yeah.
where he explores other people's religions. That's pretty interesting.
Morpheus. What's his name?
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
That's a good choice.
That's an excellent choice, actually.
My first choice.
So
would-
African Americans is basically where we're
My
going.
first choice would probably actually be Willem Dafoe. Like I think he would be.
He's not the face of anything is the problem.
Yeah,
His
but
face is fucked up.
Robert Stack has a fucked up face, dude. Like that guy's
He's
not.
perfectly normal looking human being, man.
Sorry, I'm not face shaming, I promise.
What about?
Sounds like you are.
Or like somebody like Willem Dafoe, because he's strange, but like his voice is good, you know. And I think that's what made Robert Stack cool. Is he's kind of creepy looking, but he's very serious, and his voice was like super super memorable. And it's just impossible to get away from that. But
I'm just gonna throw up a wild card here. Kevin Bacon.
that's a really good choice.
I like Kevin
He's
Bacon.
very memorable, and like his voice is really good.
And he's been in a bunch of like decent like creepy movies too.
Yeah,
So
Trevor.
that's kind of where I'm looking for too. What are he in that Invisible Man movie?
Yeah, that
That was a long
Hollow Man.
time ago.
Yeah.
Stir of Echoes. He's in that.
Oh, that was a fucking great
good
movie.
one.
That was a really good movie.
You know what other movie's really
Michael
good?
Shannon, would that be good? I think.
I don't know who that is.
Michael Sheen.
Sheenan?
Michael Sheehan.
Sheehan, is that how you say his last name?
I don't even know who
what's
that
he
is.
in?
He's in Boardwalk Empire. I've heard like guys.
What does he look like? Are you Googling him?
This guy. He has like a really interesting voice to me.
I don't think I've ever seen that guy. Or noticeable.
I think I know who you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah, he has a really interesting voice for sure. And he would be,
Oh, yeah.
he's got that kind of face that's like
Zahn.
a little odd, but definitely like memorable, you know? I don't know. They definitely
William
could've cast-
Dafoe has the face that's like a little odd and memorable.
Yeah.
If that's what he does have a pretty good voice too.
Yeah. All right, another wild card. Bill Murray.
Oh,
I'd be too funny.
Totally. Anybody
That's his voice.
would claim otherwise is full of shit. Acting's a total mystery.
I can see
Everything
that.
I could
about
see
it,
that.
How you do it.
Kind of looks like Stack too, a little bit. Like if you put him in that trench coat with a single lamplight behind him in the fog, he could pass.
You know, and I miss that. Like I miss him walking out
I feel like,
Like
you know,
on
my
a weird-
description right there
a
just
weird
made people's
set.
hairs raise
Yeah.
up when they're listening to this.
like a weird set with like fog and the music, you know, in the back. Yeah, it is all tonight. We have a story about blah 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 blah. Or
I am Antonio Banderas.
that would be weird. or how when it was the other thing is what happens if one of them gets solved?
But it's
Okay,
his
because
voice
that was like a
from
big
Zorro.
deal.
so they just exhumed.
Solved mysteries.
They just exhumed the guy who I was talking about. He had hung out. He had friends at school that he didn't, I guess, hang out with too much outside of school. And they were part of the football team, and they went to a party like an hour and a half away from his house, out in the middle of nowhere. It was like a barn party. And during the party, like the people are calling him racist names because he's black, and there was around nothing but white people. People were calling him racist names, I guess. And the guy who was gonna take him home went to go get a cigarette and supposedly got lost. And was like, yeah, somebody else take him home, and then they never found him again until like a month later.
Speaking of Solved, right? Because you know you watch these shows and like then your TV starts trying to make you watch similar shows. Mm-hmm. So I got pushed in the Cold Case. Have you seen Cold Case?
Yeah, there's a whole
So-
channel of cold case files on Pluto as well.
There is an episode of Cold Case that just makes me question investigations and police methods entirely. So basically, in this episode of Cold Case, they knew who killed this little girl, but they thought they knew. And then one guy was like, "Nope, those guys were in prison when she died." And he was like, "Oh, fuck it, he could have done it then." And then 20 fucking years go by, and a new detective gets on the case. He's like, "Let me check if they were in prison." No, they weren't.
Oh my
They had
god!
made bail. I was like, "Did nobody just look the shit up?" Nobody was like, "Should we double check that?"
Wow.
And I was just like, man, if that's how like all investigations could be derailed, it's like, there's no wonder there's so many unsolved mysteries.
Yeah, just like a week ago, they exhumed that guy's body, so they must have gotten some kind of other evidence or some
Right.
shit, you know. So
So what's interesting is on the old show, like if it was solved, there would be like a little thing because it would be on like either a repeat or they would like replay the story in the next season, and then you would hear solved,
Yeah.
an update on the case that we aired, blah blah blah, and they would explain how it was solved. Like, are they going to do new solved episodes if they solve something? Are they going to tag it on to the end of like the previous episode?
I have
Like,
a feeling they're not going to get a second season.
Well, right now they have half the season still has to come out. So it's a 12 part season, but only 6 came out, and then the second part is supposed to come out later this year.
They chose the wrong one for episode 1. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
let's hope
Yeah.
they get better.
I definitely think you need a break from the madness. Like you have to have or it's just nothing but death though for an hour.
Yeah.
And that's just not.
But it's also just
It's
not.
fun.
It's none of the stories they picked were that weird. It's not like
there,
you could probably find cases of just death for 45 minutes where you're like, what the fuck happened?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think part of it is that the stories that they're telling, like on a true crime podcast, would be like a 20-minute episode.
Yes.
But they've stretched it out to like an hour to the point where it's just like, this is too much. Not because it's like too much death and stuff, but it's like, I get that you're trying to give us all the information, but to meet like an hour-long show, there's definitely parts in every episode that I watched where they give you the same information like 3 and
Right.
4 times, and it's like,
From different characters and shit.
yeah, and you're just like, yeah, I get it.
It makes me think the scripts are written by book authors. Because a lot of
It's
book
very
authors
possible.
do that shit. Especially anybody trying to give you information, they'll just beat it through your head in a book over and over and over
Yeah.
again.
Well, because the missing woman episode, you could have easily made that 20 minutes long. She's a woman. There are people that
That's
saw
the one.
cars
That was
in
the
front of
15-minute one or 19 minutes or some shit like that.
Yeah, where there's a 15-minute window
Yeah.
where she could have been kidnapped.
Yeah, and it's like,
And again,
could
it
have
like
made that way shorter.
it makes you really question like police methods because the one cop says like he doesn't really have an alibi. Like all the things he did make it extremely difficult for him to like kidnap her, but not impossible. And then also he's a fucking creep.
Yeah.
Like arrest that dude. Like
Yeah, just take him out.
yeah. There needs to be more vigilante.
You're
justice. No,
You're
I'm just kidding. That's
unnecessary.
please don't anybody that ever listens to this take that seriously.
Yeah.
It's a terrible idea.
If you take it seriously, don't name us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Don't
kind of depends on
don't
what
put
your,
us in your manifesto.
Yeah.
what you're vigilanteing, I think.
Just pay really close attention to the thing Juan puts at the end of every episode.
Yeah, it's true.
None
Yeah.
of these
False
opinions are even
Yeah.
ours.
Like the guy who went to jail for
We're just the vessel.
assaulting three-peat like sex offenders.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
alright with that guy.
Yeah. He shouldn't have to pay for a meal
You
the rest
could
of
you
his
could
life.
let him out. He was doing the Lord's work. I didn't know that was a thing. Three-peat. I mean, like, did it still let you out? Like,
Yeah. I mean it's a 3 strikes thing. So
no, I only molested 3 little kids. I was still free, I guess.
all of those things though, like when you think about stuff like that, you're like,
Yeah.
wow, how did that person not get murdered like the instant they got it? Like if somebody's kid gets molested, like even if the guy is found guilty and goes to jail for like some kind of time, the parent of that kid is not going to forget that.
Yeah.
Well, the kid's probably not gonna forget it.
Well, I know that, but like a kid more likely than not isn't going to like shoot some guy the moment he walks out of jail.
Oh no.
My kid might. We left her home alone while we went to pick somebody up really quick.
This
Like,
is a good story.
we were out almost no time, right? But we told her if anybody comes to the door, don't answer the door,
Yeah.
you know. And if somebody breaks in, you know, what do you do? And she goes, I grab the baseball bat because we have like a little baseball bat by the front door. She goes, and I hit him in the knee. And Mel goes, all right, that's good. And she goes, and then I beat them till they're dead. I was like, ooh, okay, a little far. Like, that's too much.
You just keep hitting him in the balls. That's it.
Until he stops
Yeah.
talking.
Until there's nothing but screams.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Who
had to
hit
be
this guy
a
in the
little girl
balls?
who murdered this man.
Is it possible that a 9-year-old girl could beat a man to death by knocking him in the balls too
Turns out
much?
she had an alibi. She was slaying with ponies.
She bought gas down the
She's
street.
like
She's got
playing.
credit receipts.
She's like playing her little cat game on the phone. Punk, punk, punk.
She's all, Dad, these people look awesome that we just picked up. You're like, what the fuck?
Why is there a dude on the floor? Seems weird.
Side note, this show looks really good too.
Yeah.
What's that?
So did Warrior Nun.
This show is better than Warrior Nun, but it's still.
All shows are better than Warrior Nun.
Not all shows.
Warrior
I
Nun was
enjoy
Not
it.
Tim's shows.
Warrior Nun would have been fine had it
No.
didn't have 6 episodes.
Outlander
of
is way better than Warrior.
Outlander had titties. That's all I'm saying.
That was his defense last time.
That's my defense. I saw boobs in Outlander,
And
and
suddenly it's
I saw none in Warrior Nun. Literally, the only thing that makes Warrior Nun go bunk, worst show ever. Like,
The boob factor.
We are fat kids. We can see boobs anytime we take off our shirts.
I know that. I know that. And my wife grabs my boobs all the time, completely comfortable.
I
with
honestly
that.
thought that show would have been fine had they just not spent 3/4 of the season introing the show somehow.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Is-
Were you
It's
here
just
last
so
time we were
bad,
talking
we're
about?
back
I
to it
agree with
again.
you though. I told them it felt a lot more like a prequel than it did
It just
an actual.
spins its wheels
season.
and never decides what
I
it's
was like,
going to
could you
be.
just be a warrior nun already?
Yeah. Could you be an anything
Random
already?
demons are gonna pop out of nowhere and come at me for the rest of my life. I'll probably go with you.
You know what? I'm going to hem and haw about it for 4 fucking episodes. And this show will be a romance, comedy, action, horror drama.
Yeah.
Maybe next in part 2 that's going to be an unsolved mystery, bro. Where
Correct.
Warrior name.
I will
came
say
from.
that show's not amazing, but it is better than Warrior Nun.
Again, all shows are better than Warrior Nun.
Can't agree.
So, Unsolved Mysteries. A thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down, 7.5 buttered popcorns. What are we talking about?
So,
It's okay.
on a scale of 1 to 10,
You know how when you like a peep, you eat too many
I
peeps,
don't like
and then
peeps.
they're not good anymore.
1 is too many peeps.
okay, so like if
He's a hater.
this show
Peeps are
is
better
if
still.
you see a bag of Sour Patch Kids and you go, oh fuck yeah, Sour Patch Kids, and you pick up the bag and there's like 4 Sour Patch Kids in it, and you're like, shit, I was really looking forward to those, but I'll take what I can get. That's how this show feels. It's like
Wow, alright.
it's like disappointment with enough entertainment that I'll probably keep watching it, but only when I'm really high and don't have anything else to watch.
What's a documentary show about murders?
Don't Fuck with Cats, Making a Murderer.
Honestly, American Vandal is more entertaining than this.
'Cause
And
I'm-
has even more mystery.
I'm
and
wondering
it's completely fake.
if this would have fit better if we would have just called it something else.
I think this would have fit better if the format was different. Like, I really, really think that, like, the
They just-
completely different format from the old series just makes it not Unsolved Mysteries.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It just
so
makes
if it was, don't fuck
If
with
it-
cats or
if
whatever.
it was like another, like, kind of cold case style show, I don't think I would even bother watching it.
Yeah.
It's just the stories they picked just weren't interesting.
And
No, they're not.
it's such a saturated market for exactly what they're doing. There's tons of shows out there that are like that, and some of them, like Making a Murderer, Don't Fuck with Cats, the one about the guy that has the bomb collar around his neck.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
are like 7, 8, 10 episodes because there's like actually a long story to tell. Whereas these are
7 or 8 episodes in the
for
about
whole-
the same thing.
about the same
Oh,
story,
okay.
and it manages to be entertaining because it's actually a really complicated story. These mysteries are like, there's a pretty obvious like kind of direction that they're going, and it's really easy to give the information about each of those stories in 15 to 20 minutes with zero problem. But instead they've like stretched them out like super long because they want it to be, I guess, like some kind of prestige television. So again, it's 4 Sour Patch Kids out of the whole bag.
Wow, that's like negative 50 Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, it's like a, I mean, it's all right, but man, this is a huge disappointment.
It's like when you're really hungry for cereal and you see all the boxes and then you grab one and it's empty.
It's like when you're a little
Or
kid
or
and
there's
you want
just dust.
you want all the cereals that are in the cool aisle, and then your mom buys off-brand.
Yeah.
Nice kicks.
Oh, yeah. You're like, it's sweet for like 2 days. And then it's just,
Yeah, then it's just like horse meal.
yeah.
All right, I'm at like a quarter
Kids
thumb.
are
I'm like a quarter
ass.
thumb.
What's your descriptive?
I just thought it was terrible. They didn't put any. I really don't think they put any effort.
I don't think so either. I think they.
Throw some cases up here. Throw some. Why did they just piggyback on their own show and do the Carol Baskins?
It's true.
Unsolved Mystery.
Right?
Tiger King.
There's like, even in like modern times, in the last like 5 years, you could probably pull anything. Like, you could have done Epstein, you could have done Tiger King, you could have done Trump, you could have done.
How did he become president?
Yeah.
Unsolved mystery.
You could have done
The whole
anything.
country's thinking to themselves, that should have definitely been on Unsolved Mysteries.
Like, you could have picked anything in the last 5 years.
And that's a big thing that Unsolved Mysteries did, is it took, like, one of the freakiest fucking episodes of Unsolved Mysteries was some dude burned down a house and he videotaped it, right? And he's just like, yeah, burn, all right. Like, just all nasty, like...
Wow, you got a fucking creepy voice
I know,
down pat.
I know. How do you think I talk to people on the phone? Like,
So I talked to Mel.
oh yeah,
Right on my tit.
burn it.
Hey, that's weird.
Ooh. I just creeped myself out. But like, so what was freaky about it is it was like on the news, okay? Like there was a news article about it that was part of the Unsolved Mystery. There was the actual raw footage from the videotape, and then like Robert Stack like explaining what happened. There's like a narrator throughout like the
Right.
whole thing. And then at the end, he's like, if anybody has any information about this, let us know. And then, like, 9-10 months later, they caught that guy. Like, because somebody was like, yeah, I saw a dude up on the hill, like, using a camcorder. I think he lives right there. Like, you
He
know.
was acting pretty maniacal.
And whenever he comes over, he's like, how's
He
it
filmed.
going?
Thank you. He filmed my wedding and he's making the same.
Burn it, baby.
Grab his tits.
Choke on the garter belt.
Hey, that's weird. All right, let's end this episode on the weird fucking garter choking.
Well, on that note, everybody.
Thank you, my love.
I think we are all pretty disappointed with Unsolved Mysteries.
I think so. Yeah.
It's
But
so
this big-
lackluster.
This spaghetti definitely is not as terrible looking as Unsolved Mysteries for sure. Wow, we are like all out. We're like getting fed.
I know.
What is happening?
Dang, this is awesome. Well, anyway, with that said, I've been Gabe.
I'm Tim.
I'm Doyle.
I'm Juan.
Be sure to check us out at www.totlb.com. You can find us at Patreon at patreon.com/totlb.
We said our names early.
Where there's, yeah, I did it backwards. Where there's tons and tons of videos that have been going up fairly regularly. I'm gonna get one some more this week because I gotta actually sit down when it's not sweaty in my basement.
I think I still have 2 more videos still,
Nice.
so
So I
yeah,
got a
we're
little
good.
bit.
We got a little bit of time.
Also, you can find us on YouTube at tinyurl.com/totlbtube. She was holding that up and I was trying to read it. and
He's
my
all
brain just
vodka
went
or
away.
tequila.
Anyway,
You can find us on
tinyurl.com/totlb.com or fuck.
Jesus.
tinyurl.com/totlbtube. And then finally, you can get a hold of us.
You can also search in YouTube for Thinking Outside the
Yeah,
Longbox.
you can also go to, or you can also call our phone number 970-573-6148.
Go to the phone number.
970-573-6148. There was once a man who hated Unsolved Mysteries, I'm sure, as the rest of us, but man, does he love midgets. His name's Michael Kirk. May he rest in peace.
And it's no mystery.
We already said our names. Until next time, bye.